awesome.
I love that. It's so dumb. I say it every time, but it is so stupid. Heavy metal fishy jerks. You know?
It's awesome.
I just love it. I love how it turned out, and it's amazing. Hey, everybody, how you doing? So here's Carrie. Everybody knows Carrie. That sounds like a song. Everybody knows Carrie. Carrie's awesome. Science Gal Aquatics. I always say Science Girl Aquatics.
Everybody does.
It's very obvious that it's Science Gal, but for some reason I just always say Science Girl.
I think the first whole Aquashella I went to, everybody called me Science Girl, and I was like, "I'll take it. You're talking to me. I'll take it. I don't care."
Call me Bob if you want.
Yeah, I don't care. I respond. I get Terry a lot too, and there's quite a few Terrys in the group, and I was like, I respond to that too. Yep.
As long as you know they're talking to you, that's all.
Yeah.
So Carrie has Science Gal Aquatics. Obviously, her links are in the description, and I'm sure the mods are going to drop links and stuff as we go. Carrie does a live stream every Sunday night at 6?
4 Central.
4 Central, yeah. Okay, so 5 o'clock Eastern time. And usually her husband.
We're not technically married, but we might as well be.
Her, I don't want to say better half.
Yeah, that's what I say because I never know either.
It's never the guy that's the better half. It's always the woman. You know what I mean? So her partner in crime. How about that? Jesse's with her, and Jesse might stop in later too.
Yeah, he's talking to the neighbors upstairs. Right before we went on, we had a catastrophe, and one of the puppies got loose. So I was frantically like looking for a puppy, and I'm like, oh no. But I found it, and I had to go through some sticker bushes, but I didn't. I was like, I gotta just, so everything's safe, but the whole neighborhood was on puppy watch. So we were outside thanking everybody for helping.
Nice. And I did ask Gary to maybe bring up one of the dogs towards the end of the stream. Mm-hmm. See if we can't get to see them, because they are just beautiful. And they're say it for me.
Shiba Inus.
Shiba Inu.
Shibas for short.
Shibas. They're Shibas. Beautiful, beautiful little dogs.
They're ornery, but they're beautiful.
So everybody watching, I'm not seeing any new names, but just in case, just a reminder for everybody. So the first half, Carrie and I are just going to be talking. We're not going to be looking at the chat. You guys have to entertain yourselves as far as chat goes. Which is going to be us talking about Carrie and how she got where she's at today, and all of her cool trip. And then at the second half, we'll look at the chat. And if you guys have questions for her, that's the time to ask them. And it can be fish related, but we're trying to focus more on just Carrie herself and not so much the hobby. But if you've got a question for her, something that she says in the chat or something, or in the stream, don't hesitate. It can be fish related. All right. Sorry, I always have to get that spiel out there. All right. So let's see. How about this? This is something a little bit different that I do, because I've been on your stream before with you and Jesse, and I do know a little bit about you. You live in Missouri. Mm-hmm. You're with Jesse. You don't know if you're married or not.
No, I don't
know. There's kids.
Uh-huh.
How many kids live with you?
I have one that lives with us all the time, and then he has 2 that's here part-time, but his oldest one's 16 with a girlfriend, so he's here whenever he wants to be here. Okay. But Charlie and Brighton, this is the time of year they're both 9, but Charlie's about to be 10.
Gotcha. That's fun. That's fun to have 2 the same age or close like that.
Yeah, they're a year apart in school, but they're 2 of a kind.
Yeah, they get along really well.
So much easier that they get along so well.
Yeah. blended families can be tough. So that's great.
But it kind of helps because me and Jesse, we grew up together. And I remember he came over when he was married to his ex-wife to my mom's house. And I was there. And he's like, here's Adam. Adam was just born. And we all like held him when he was a little baby. And I was like, now I'm kind of like your stepmom. I was like, I've known you since you were even born. Like, just a thought.
You know, that's a good segue too. Why don't you tell us the story of you and Jesse? Because, you know, I know you told me before when I was on your stream, and I think it's interesting how you guys sort of gravitated around each other until you finally collided. So,
if you say gravitated, he was gravitating towards me, and I was having no part of it. And now looking back on it, it was super sweet because his grandma was my neighbor and his parents just lived right down the street. So we rode the same school bus, and his brother and my brother were best friends, and we always hung out together and we always played basketball. And he would carry me over like the little puddles and leave me love notes. And I remember it was his graduation because he graduated 2 years before me. And I worked at the movie theater, and all my buds at the movie theater were graduating. I was like, tell Jesse to come to the movie theater after graduation. I want to ask him on a date, and I just want to see what happens. And of course he was like, what? But then I wanted to be a Navy lawyer at the time. And when we went on our little date, he told me that I wasn't going, that shouldn't be my choice. And I did not appreciate it. So I was like, bye. And then after I had Brighton and I moved back to help my mom out with my dad and go back to school, I just reached out on Facebook and I was like, do you know any creeks to take Brighton? And I was like, we're still friends with your family. I don't know anybody. I was like, this is not a big deal because I thought he was still married. So I was like, this is all innocent, you know? And he's like, do you want to go out to dinner? I'm like, that's not a creek. And I'm like, he's like, no, that's long gone. Like, that's done. And for a while, I was like, okay, then sure. Why not? And then I never went home, really. I was like, you got a lot of room for fish tanks.
That's awesome. That's
so it's kind of like one of those when you look back on it, it's like, oh, that's so sweet. But at the time, I was like, dude.
I never went back. So the second time around, he didn't try and tell you what you should be. He learned his lesson.
He learned
his lesson.
Now he just tells me I don't put the dishes in the dishwasher right.
Yeah, but he's probably true. He's probably telling the truth, isn't he?
Yeah. I probably should rinse them off first, but you know. He's coming here and we're talking about them. Oh no, guys.
No more secrets.
I was telling my version of how we met.
Hey, Jesse.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Oh, good.
Got
rid of the neighbors finally.
Yeah, done running around catching those puppies, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I know. I went head first in the sticker bush, but I was like, you know what? I got a stream and a lost puppy.
Stickers ain't stopping me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we learned how you guys met and the kid situation, all that. It is, blended families can be hard, but it sounds like you guys have a decent handle on it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for a living, Carrie?
I do hair at the moment on the weekends.
Okay.
And I'm attempting to make my website and make YouTube videos.
Well, you make some damn good YouTube videos.
Well, I appreciate it. I forget that it's been a while since I put one out, but I did film some stuff, so I felt very accomplished.
And you went to school for a couple of different things, right? But that's how you got into fish keeping, was because of school, right?
Yeah, I've always been in fish keeping. My dad, he kept an aquarium my whole life. I don't have any memories without fish tanks. But when I was in school, I wanted to show like natural selection and all the stuff we talked about in real time. And I knew that you could kind of do that and see that with the guppies. So I always kept fish, but I always had one aquarium.
Gotcha.
And when I went back to school and had to set up multiple tanks and discovered fish tube, I got a lot of tanks.
And how many do you have right now?
I think we're up to 24 if you don't count the ponds.
Just
24
or
tanks.
26 actual aquariums, and then don't even count the tubs.
We got 4 small tubs, 2 big tubs, and a pond outside. So
Nice. And you've done those for a while now, right? You've had a few
I think
years.
this will be our third
year this year.
But the pond's been set up for 4 years, I think now. It's been set up for a while, but it had to turn over before the fish did good.
I just did my first little tub. I did it on the cheap. I used a kiddie pool that we had in the basement. We used it for the dogs in the summertime to, let them cool off. And just everything that I already had on hand, and put some guppies out there. And then it went down to 40 degrees. So I put a heater in. So I did lose one. I lost one.
Like 90 to 40.
We did the same thing. Yeah.
But every time I see those kiddie pools, I just think baby plecos, baby plecos, baby plecos. And I've never successfully got baby plecos, so I have no need. But they're right by the door at the dollar store, and every time I walk by, I'm like, I could use that.
It's awfully shallow, but it seems to be working for the guppies. I want to put some more out there once the weather warms up for good. But I did buy another just regular tub as well. I'm just going to stick with that this year. Oh, no, I'm doing a little waterfall in the front yard with some minnows, white cloud minnows in it. So,
Oh, that'd be cool.
I'm just going to do one of those tiny little kits, little ones that they already, it's 20 gallons or whatever, but it's all built in together. I'm just going to put one of those out there in a little garden area that we have. So I'm excited though. First year, I want to dip my toe into it. I don't want to jump in all the way with it because our weather is so weird, living right on the lake like we do. We've had snow later than this, so it's just hard to know what to do with it. But enough about me. What other hobbies do you have besides the fish keeping? Is there anything else that you really get into? Video games.
I listen to the kids scream at Fortnite, and I'm like, stop screaming at the video games. Mainly just the animals, between the puppies, the rabbit, the other dogs.
That's what I was going to say. Her ultimate secret, folks, is she's an animal lover.
He yelled at me yesterday. He's like, you like people or animals more than you even like your family. And I'm like, well, sometimes you guys yell at me. I go in the fish room and no one tells me I'm doing anything wrong. And
the fish are looking at you like, what are you doing, lady?
The fish don't talk back.
Well, the iguana does. Feed me more.
Oh, he talked back today on the water change. Oh my goodness, did he talk?
He tries to
what was he doing?
Oh, he tried to take my hand off cleaning the glass.
He's honoring.
And he doesn't he just stalks you really close. When you put your hand down and you're cleaning the glass, he'll come close and he'll be like, no, not this time. Then he'll swim away, come back around, be like, oh, this time's the time I'm gonna nip you.
Well, it doesn't hurt, but you can feel it to be like, you just bit me.
And you probably jump. No matter what, even though it doesn't hurt, you probably still jump because something's coming out.
Oh yeah, you always react. It's a physical reaction. You can't help it.
I'll go up to feed it and I'm like, I know you're gonna jump. I open the thing. I know you're gonna jump. I put the food in. You jumped.
I went to put the nozzle in to refill it. He decided to eat the end of the nozzle again, like he has a dozen other times. He put that whole thing in his mouth. He's just absolutely ornery.
I love him though.
How long have you had him?
It was 2017.
Oh, okay.
18, 17. It's been a little bit. He was a little baby when I got him. He was in a 10-gallon tank at the pet store, and now he's 2 foot. He's huge now. It's been a learning to get to know each other.
He started out about 3-4 inches long, and now he's about 26 or so.
He does have the drop eye though, and I don't know if there's anything I can do. It's not getting any worse, but he does have the drop eye in one of his eyes.
I wonder if they're good eating.
I don't know.
I've already asked that question. He said no.
when they get to be that big, you just wonder, I love fish. I mean, I love keeping fish, but I love eating fish too. So when they get that big, you just wonder.
I like catching them and throwing them back because I just don't like the work of cleaning them.
Yeah, that's not the funnest part.
But going out and catching them and throwing them back is fun.
Well, what's your favorite type of fish to eat? What's your favorite type of fish?
Probably salmon. I eat salmon almost every day. Smoked salmon. I have it on my morning bagel. Just about every day. There's a grocery store chain up here called Aldi. I don't know how far it's spread around the country. I don't know if they've got them down
Aldi's?
there. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how widespread they are. They've got this smoked salmon. It's cheap. One little package is like $4. It lasts me all week. And one little sliver on my bagel every morning. Just absolutely love it. I'm addicted to it. If I don't get it, I get grumpy.
He gets hangry.
That's one food I don't think I've ever tried. We usually have bass, crappie, and like suckerfish here.
Catfish.
Now, how do you prepare the catfish? Do you soak it in milk or anything first to sort of get the gaminess away from it, or
we just fry it till you can't taste the gamey anymore? Just fry it. Just keep it. If you taste it, you're like, let's put it back in there and fry it some more. Then fry up some hush puppies, and then just smear it in some sauce.
No, most of our catfish are actually really, really good. It's mostly in preparation on them. You just got to make sure. If they're huge, cut out any of the red, any of the yellow fat on them, cut it out. They'll be perfect. Same way with spoonbill. Crappie
that's the best.
That's the delicacy down here.
Yeah.
If you're a crappie guy, then you're in there.
We have a lot of the carp here, and that's if you soak it in milk for like a full day and then fry it up, it tastes delicious. It's good. But if you don't put it in the milk, and that's carp, I don't know what kind of carp it is, but there's a ton of them in the bay right here, and I mean they're so easy to catch, and you can get some good sized ones. But if you don't do that, they taste nasty.
Yeah,
most bottom feeders do though, right? Yeah,
they do. Unfortunately, the one sucker fish that I like the best it looks identical, and I'm sure somewhere in the genus it is in the family is the hog molly down here. It looks identical to
just regular pleco.
A regular common pleco.
Hog molly.
I've tried catching them before, but they're quick little suckers.
I don't know that I've ever heard of them. Now, I'm not a big fisherman. We live right on the lake, but I just don't fish that much.
We take it in spells. There's some years, his son goes all the time and tells us about it. There's some years that we go, and then there's some years that we just don't. It just kind of depends on the year and the summer, the activities with the kids.
My son-in-law is British, and he had never fished before. And last summer when he came over, he can only stay for 90 days. He's still working on his citizenship. So last summer when he came over, he went fishing. I took him fishing for his very first time in his life, and he caught a few bluegills and stuff. And man, after that, he took my kayak out 3 times a week. There for a while, he was going every single day. He was catching all kinds of pike and just, largemouth, smallmouth, just all kinds of stuff. And that's all he could think about. He started buying all kinds of stuff. Now there's a whole part of the basement dedicated to just his fishing stuff, just from one summer. Yep. He can't wait to get back. He's going to be here in about a month. And,
wow.
Oh, he got the bug then.
Bad. I don't know if he wants to see my daughter more or if he wants to go fishing more, He hasn't seen her in almost a year, but I think he wants to come fishing. I think that's why. I looked up Hog Molly, and it seems to be a band as well, and a brewing company.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I knew it was a brewing company, but Zen Ginger's in here. She said, and I can't even pronounce the word, but not the same family, but still a suckerfish.
Still a suckerfish. Okay. Very cool. Awesome, Zen Ginger. Thank you so much. That is very cool. I'm going to have to look that up later and see exactly what that is. I'm just curious now that you brought it up.
I mean, it looks identical, but way larger than the average plecos that she has in the fish room.
Gotcha.
I have a more smaller ones, but we do have a larger one upstairs in the arowana tank. But I usually keep the smaller plecos a little bit on the smaller side.
So
on the fish part of it, the meat on those, the only reason I brought them up, they're so white and flaky. There's no, once you fillet them out, there's no trimming.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
I know.
I want some fish now.
I haven't had any lunch.
I doubt if we have those up here, but I'm going to look and just see if there's a way to get some and give it a try, because I'm always up for trying new fish.
Mm-hmm.
Always. So would you say, Carrie, that fishing is a little bit of a hobby for you?
If I have the opportunity to go, I will eat it up and go. Yes. Yeah. But I don't go.
You don't like very much.
When the kids are at school and the house is quiet, I don't usually just go by myself. I usually just take the time to do the laundry.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But if it's like a hot day and the kids are bored and Adam's around, and we're like, sure, let's go.
Well, she's a creek rat. Don't let her lie.
Yeah, I like going to the creek or the river more than going to like the lake or the pond. But,
is that because you can interact and see what's there more, or what?
Yeah, it's a little shallower, so me and the kids can get out there with the aquarium nets and see what we can catch. And there's one that's up here that's a spring, so it's always kind of, on those hot days, it's really chilly. It just feels really good.
I love doing that too. There's one not too far from us. I actually went and took some video of, but I didn't take my gimbal. It was spur of the moment thing, and the video was just unusable because it was like, re-walking it like this. I think everybody would have been throwing up by the time I got halfway through. It was horrible. So I'm going to go back again with my gimbal. And if there's a waterfall there and everything, I didn't see a single fish in it though.
Oh, really?
The waterfall comes down and then it's slate underneath it, and it hits the slate before it hits the water. So I can't imagine any fish are. I mean, it's smacking that rock hard. I can't imagine very many fish survive the fall. You know, if you went right into the water, then I could imagine they would survive it a little better. But
this one's really shallow. There's a little fast little pace, but it's still only like knee deep at the most.
Yeah.
But it's fun to take the kids out there, and there's a beachy, like kind of sandy spot, so they like to dig around the sand. But that's usually where we go.
Now, do you have any problems with the lake and not being able to see what's underneath the water or anything like that? Does it bother you?
It does when I first get there, but usually I'm at the lake, and after a few adult, I'm not so scared. I'm like, let's get out here. Let's see what's out here. But when I first get there, I'm like, I don't know. When we went to the ocean the whole way down there, it was our first time last year, and we're like, we're only going to get ankle deep. Like, I don't know about this. And it's one of those weird little quirks about me. I've always watched Shark Week. I love Shark Week, but it was like one of those things. I've never been to the ocean. So it was like, I'm going to watch Shark Week on the ocean one of these days. I'm going to lay out. I'm going to watch it, and the ocean's right there. Like, this is going to be a dream. Well, it just happened to coordinate. And by the end of it, I was like, I'm out there watching my Shark Week on my cell phone. And I'm like, let's go dive in. And we were brave. We got up like chest deep, and then we were like, okay, this is enough.
Wow. Yeah, I think after watching Shark Week, I wouldn't go in the ocean for a while.
But I had my goggles.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm like, why would you do this to me? Yeah, you should check this out. You gotta see how many people got attacked down here last year. And I'm like, really?
I just was like, and I had my goggles on, and I was down there like getting. I'm like, look at this shell. Look at this. I'm like, I'm 12.
Yeah. She went right back to 12 years old, and I went back to, what am I doing here?
You're just looking at me like, she's not with me. No.
I'm going to go back and sit underneath my umbrella and look at the water.
Nice and safe.
Yeah.
How far away is the ocean from you guys?
It was like 14 or 15 hours down Gulf Shores. It was about 14. It's 16 to Orlando.
Oh, gotcha.
according to Google Maps, but we are flying. We are not driving.
I was going to ask that. You are going to Orlando, to Aquatics? Nice. Nice.
I am. I'm excited.
And this is your, how many have you been to now? These.
This will be my third.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
And Jesse's been to a couple, right? All three.
He went to Chicago.
Okay.
This will be his second one. He went to the last one when they had. I went to Dallas by myself.
And isn't that where, Jesse, where you're sort of how much you like the whole fish keeping hobby sort of turned around at that? Like when you went to it, you're like, this, I'll go with, but you weren't really excited. But once you got there and saw everything and saw the people, is that sort of where you got turned on to the hobby a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I hung out with Rob and Dustin and got to see some stuff and talk to some guys and just kind of got more into the hardware and the plants than I did anything else. And that kind of.
He had a good time chit-chatting with everybody, but they rented like this party bus thing for us, and we went to Aqualand, and then from there we got invited to Primetime's Aquatics fish room and seeing how he put together his fish room and all like the valves, and it wasn't any particular tank. It was just how it was set up.
Gotcha.
It was like
the infrastructure
changed. Yeah, it just changed. And I mean, if you go to a fish room like that,
yeah,
you're gonna come out and be like, okay, I'm gonna try this.
Yeah, when you got a guy that's got 60 plus tanks, and
they're like
all hooked
immaculate.
Up. Yeah,
and they're
immaculate.
Huge tilapia.
Everything's been drilled, ported, just perfect. I mean, auto top offs, everything.
The way he talked about it before, it was like, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll look at that. And then on the way back, he was like, did you see that? How he did that? That was kind of cool. I was like, oh, yay.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of different things in the hobby that sort of get people turned on to it. You know what I mean? Some people really like the plants. Some people really like, building the fish rooms, that handyman part of it. Some people just about the fish.
Yeah, down here in the fish room, I wouldn't say there's any specific fish down here that he likes. He likes the plants down here. But the arowana, that's the one that he likes.
Yeah.
Some of the more monster fish.
I like I don't care for monster fish though. But I've never kept any. So maybe that's why. You know what I mean? I've only had, community tanks. My biggest fish is maybe 4 inches long, I just, maybe someday when I have the room and I have some monster fish, then I'll feel different about them. But I really don't. I don't know. They don't do it for me like the littler ones do.
Well, trust me, I was scared because she introduced me to this little bitty fish, and she goes, "He's gonna get this big." I'm like, "What?"
Whatever.
And then it started growing, and then it really started growing. And then she's like, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna have to get like a really big tank."
No, I think I'm gonna need a bigger tank.
Like dogs.
I mean, we were just talking about Shark Week.
Yeah, and that's kind of when I had to make the decision that either I really like this fish or I'm in a lot of trouble.
And where you at?
I like that fish.
Yeah,
a lot.
Does it have a name?
Not really.
Not one I can say on camera.
It's more of like he just responds to because that's usually what comes out of
That's a great
name. You never
name.
know. There's sometimes like he jumps just to get your attention. Like you'll just be sitting there, he'll just slap the water, and you're like, "Why are you doing that? Do you want food?" And then he'll like half jump to where he'll hit the top of the glass, but he's fine. And then there's other times you're like, are you okay? Did you knock yourself out there, dude? Like, what's wrong? Like there's sometimes I think he just wants attention and to be fed. I'm like, But that sound when you're in the other room and you just hear that sound, you know what it is. And you're like, every time you walk around the corner, you're like, just please don't get in the floor. Don't be in the floor. And we'll get that room real clean. And then slowly everything kind of just migrates to the top of that glass to keep it weighed down. Like there's some like veggie sprouts and some bugs. And like where I put stuff to photograph, it kind of sits as a paperweight on there. Like, we gotta clean that off. That looks bad. But then it's safer to keep all that weight.
Yeah. Another couple of years, if you have any more puppies, if you lose one, you might want to look in the tank.
I know, right?
Oh, and Jesse, I did ask if you guys could bring one of the puppies down at one point.
Yeah, I told him at the end of the hour we'll go grab one.
Okay, I can do that.
You're on puppy duty.
Yep.
Well, I'm good now.
I saw him before. I don't remember which. Maybe it's just you guys streaming. I can't remember if you had a guest that day or not. But I remember you brought them up, and man, they just look so cool.
They're so cuddly.
Just like Jess, manes, tails, fins, and furs. She's got those little corgis.
Yep.
Man, those things are beautiful too.
I tell her it's her fault that we have these because she kept talking about them dang puppies. And they go into my backyard. I'm like, Jess, I'm going to have some dang puppies. It's your fault. If you wouldn't have talked about all these cuteness, I wouldn't have wished it into my life.
Yeah, but they're gorgeous little puppies.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They've got to be worth a pretty penny too.
They're not too bad. That white one is super rare. It's one that's worth quite a bit. But those red ones, if we had papers, I think the mom has papers, but the dad didn't, or something like that. If we had papers, it would be better. But at this point, it's just
at this point, I have bred them and sold them for so long. Mm-hmm. I will much rather get rid of them for what it cost me to get all their shots and everything and make them right to the perfect home, because they are a little bit of a pain in the butt.
Are they? I've never had one. They are.
Imagine a 10 to 12-year-old child forever.
Well, this is what I'm battling with Daddy Dog Simba. He's a scape artist, and I had moved the barbecue grill because he was launching off the barbecue grill. Whenever the ponds were frozen, he was launching over the frozen ponds, over the fence. And I thought I had got it all taken care of. And the other day I watched him back up, run towards the fence, grab onto, like, we have like this bush stuff that kind of covers up for like privacy. He climbed up that.
He climbed honeysuckle vines.
Then jumps. And then I was like, okay. So I went and got him a fancy harness and like a lead to kind of, I'm like, okay, we're going to, come on now. And then I went back in the backyard and he had gotten out of that dang harness and jumped out again. I was like, Simba.
Then she got the harness tightened up and then he chewed the lead in half.
Yeah, he did. I was like,
you need some bigger walls.
Yeah. But
unfortunately, they're like a deer.
They hop like a deer too. When he bolted, I was like, "It's a mix between a deer hop and a bunny hop."
And they're not that big, right?
They're medium size.
No, but
right?
No, but they can jump about 3.5 feet straight up without making a run.
So that's what I've been
They just go boom,
boing.
Yeah. And I took him to the vet a couple of days ago, and he's so crazy in our backyard. I'm like, this is going to be like, I'm going to be stressed out for a dang week over this vet doctor appointment. And I took him. I was like, is this the same dog? Like, you're so calm, and you're sitting when you're told, like, I need to come to the vet more often.
They're just like children. You take them out of their normal environment, they're perfect.
Gotcha. He probably knew if he didn't behave, the vet was going to do something to him.
Yeah. I was like, dang, dude.
No, I'll behave. I'll be good.
He knew.
I got this cough.
Yeah, everything's blooming here. Allergy.
That's probably what it is. I didn't take one today, an allergy pill. I didn't have those until the last few years. But, it happens a lot of times. You can get old and get that kind of stuff. All right, so you don't really have hobbies other than animals and kids.
Yeah.
And you're a hairdresser on the weekends. Hairdresser? Is that
Yeah.
okay? I wasn't sure if that was the proper term.
Hairdresser, cosmetologist. I'm usually the fix-it person. That I get phone calls. Blah 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 messed up my hair. I'll come in and I'll fix it.
Is it all people?
You already did the fix it today.
Yeah, I had some prom. His son's girlfriend's prom was today, so I did some hair today. Did some prom hair.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jesse, what do you do for a living?
I am the crazy one.
Mm-hmm. We've already established that for 35 minutes.
Okay. I do the one thing they don't have at the job fair when you're in high school. They don't have a little booth set up for, hey, would you like to work around high voltage power lines and trim trees?
Oh.
And on top of that, if you get good at it, we're not going to put you around the low voltage stuff anymore. We're going to match you out to the high voltage transmission that feeds the states. And all you're going to do is just do the hazard trees, like the dead ones and the stuff falling apart and the stuff where you're probably going to die. Would you like to do that, sir? Yes, I would. Go ahead and sign me up.
And how long you been doing that?
18 years this year.
Oh, wow. And you get up there pretty high too on some of those?
Let's see. It was this week, Tuesday, I was climbing 120 foot cottonweeds.
Yeesh. Yeah, I don't really have a fear of heights, but I don't like them. I mean, I'll get up on the step stool, but
yeah, I got you. My step stool's just a mite higher.
Yeah.
Just a smidge.
Just a little bit. That last step's a doozy.
Yeah. Well, it's not the fall that hurts; it's the sudden stop.
Yeah. Yep. I can't even imagine when you get next to those big towers like that. I mean, you can hear it, right? You can.
Oh yeah.
There's a vibration too.
You can hear it. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Just the static off of it's just crazy.
Yeah.
All the hair on your arm will stand up. It's nuts.
And so you have a healthy respect for electricity then.
Yes, I do.
You should see it when I'm like, do you want to make me I run out of outlets. I need you to make me a box. I need you to do that to plug in something. And he's like, oh, no, okay. It's like a favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I imagine, man. Now, have you ever seen anything really bad happen? I mean, any friends or anybody get really hurt from it, or have you been really hurt?
I have, and I can tell a really morbid story, but just try to kind of
tell it quickly
tone it down.
And tone down.
When I first was working in St. Louis and I was still working distribution, we were working in a subdivision over by Manchester, and we were on one block and another crew was on another block. And we heard the world's worst just screaming and commotion. And we were about 3/4 of a block away. And we knew where this other crew was. So we came out, we went running. And unfortunately, the guy did everything right. He climbed the green tree to stub down a dead tree that was next to a little bitty single phase power line that feeds your normal house. And the green tree actually uprooted and pinned him between the tree and the primary.
Oh.
And lack of a better way to explain it, cooked him alive.
Wow.
And it didn't kick out. The fuse that's on the line is supposed to kick out, shut the power down.
Yeah.
It didn't. And they wouldn't let us go get him. It literally turned him into a crisp. And it was a really, really bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
And everything kind of got resolved. Unfortunately, the man lost his life and all that. But the bad part was, 2 days later, I had to go back and finish the tree that killed him.
Oh my God.
So I had to climb the same tree that took his life.
Wow.
Which is kind of an ominous thought.
Yeah. To say the least. Say the least. I can't even imagine. And like you said, he did everything right. There was no way to predict that something like that would have happened, right? Now, did anything change because of it? Because, again, there was nothing that he did wrong. But did you guys change how you did things because of it?
No, not on that particular instance. Come to find out after further investigation, what had actually happened was the house that sat beside that little patch of trees had just been built a few years ago, and they brought in a bunch of dirt and put down to make a brand new yard. And then they put sod over the top of it. And that excess dirt was actually built up around the base of those trees, and it caused root rot. So the tree had a really weak root system.
Oh, okay.
And is what caused it to uproot. But that was the ultimate determination. But it was not a good deal. And then about 8 years later, I got hurt real bad. No fault of my own either. I was climbing for transmission lines, I was climbing a huge 90, well, they did a big investigation. So it was 97 feet tall and I was at 60 something foot, and I was cutting out a piece, and it wasn't even one leaning towards the power line. It was just one I needed out of my way. So I was cutting it out of my way, and it split. And when it split, instead of splitting up like they normally do, called barber chairing, it split and barber chaired down. Well, I was tied into it. I was safetied into it, and it bent me backwards where my head touched my heels and
Jesus,
messed me up pretty good.
He was all swollen from internal for a while.
I spent 7 days in the ICU. And
how long did it take you all together to come back from that? I mean, how long was it? Months before you felt back to yourself? Was it years? How long did
I went back to work about 4.5 months later.
Gotcha. Wow.
Yeah, I spent a good month bleeding out of every orifice on my body.
Oh, Jesus. Pancakes inside, right? It just smushed everything.
Yeah. I exploded everything inside, and that's what the doctors told me. They said either you're really tough or you're really lucky, but we bet it's a combination of both.
Yeah. What's that? If you're gonna be stupid, you got to be tough. Not that you were stupid, but wasn't that Johnny Knoxville? Isn't that his thing?
Yep. Yeah, that's
thing.
And it gave me a new respect for everything. I've always done everything pretty much by the book, but now I'm
double and triple checking and
yeah. Well, I've trained a lot of guys through my years, and I won't let anybody, even if it means accidentally breaking a safety rule of not tying in twice, if they can keep from doing what happened to me, I encourage them not to safety in anything big, because I cut a 40-foot lead that weighed approximately 3,700 pounds.
Jesus.
And I held it with my body for about 30 seconds.
Oh.
And at that time, I weighed about 155 pounds.
Yeah, you're not going to win.
Well, you won't win, but you'll look like a really cool you.
I've never worked in anything like that. Like I worked IT stuff. If a computer's not working, nobody's going to die. I've never worked in any kind of field where it was that important that the steps were followed direct, or somebody was going to, get hurt. That's a lot of extra stress.
Mm-hmm. Well, at our work, we call it our brother's keeper. That's what we call it at work. I'm my brother's keeper. We work usually 2-man crews. you got to trust the guy next to you. If you can't trust him, you might as well not even be in this line of work.
Yeah.
Because if you're up there, and you get in trouble, he's got to be able to come get you.
Yeah.
I don't work that
is there very many people that wash out of it quickly? Is it something that people, do you lose a lot of people like in the first month or something when they start the job?
First couple hours.
Usually about the first 2 days. About the first 2 days.
Yeah. You can tell if somebody's going to make it or not, and they're usually gone after 2 days. Huh?
Yeah, it's usually about 2 days. The first day is a lot of paperwork and a lot of talking, and you kind of try to ease them into it slowly, but you're mostly judging their character.
Yeah.
And then the second day, you usually pretty much know if they're going to make it, and they either won't show up the third day or they might make it to the end of the week, maybe.
My job's not that violent, but I have seen some occasions where someone's hair got fried and it almost escalated to violence.
Gotcha.
But nothing like life or death, but
no.
Very, very dangerous in the parking lot after someone's hair got bleached and fried off.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of scissors and stuff around you, right?
A lot of sharp objects.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weapons.
I've had some picky clients in the past that they're like, how do you even deal? I was like, I just take a breath and know that it eventually they're either going to leave or we're going to do this all night. Because I have clients that they'll take like one hair. They're like, okay, I want you to cut this hair. And then I'm like, okay. And then they're like, let me see the comb. And I'm like, here you go. And when they leave, they're like, Carrie, your patience level. I was like, I know. I just let them be.
Well, that's how I am when I go to the beautician.
I know,
Hey, at least you have that flowing hair.
Look at that.
It happens.
Uh-huh.
It happens.
I just cut mine. I cut a bunch off mine.
Yeah.
I've had hair in a while, but I shaved my head. Actually, I had really long hair. I had waist length hair, and I shaved it. So I went from waist length hair to I shaved my beard and my head, and I donated the hair.
Mm-hmm.
But and then this is growing back. That was like 3 years ago, I think 4 years ago, and it's growing back. So
he shaved his when we first got together, and I was like, I'd rather you have a little bit of hair than that. Like this right here would tan. The top of his head would never tan, so he'd have this line in the middle of his forehead. It was like,
yeah, the same one I still have.
Yeah, so I was like, just grow something on, like,
throw something on there.
I have a hairdresser. Give me something.
Is it a pretty
That's
small
not
town?
your look. Huh?
You guys live in a pretty small town, or?
Yeah. The university is the only thing that gives us any population. We have a really good engineering school here. So during the school months, there's a lot of people, but when school's not in session, there's not.
It's about 18,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But that's with the university students.
Yeah. And how much of it is not university?
The town, that's not maybe 15%. It's not university.
Oh, okay. So that's about we're about 1,500 people.
Mm-hmm. We have fast food and Walmart. That's all we have here. And then it's university. And I was like, man, I wish I was like an engineering student, but I like biology, but I need to like engineering because I got the school for it here.
Excuse me. You know what? It's actually 7:20 already. We've been going for almost an hour already.
Uh-oh. I know what I got to do.
And I'll have to tell them thank you for doing that. So let's say hi to everybody in chat. And again, I apologize if you made comments in the chat. We didn't even look at it. That's by design. The first part, we don't normally look at the chat. And now is the time, though. If you've got questions for Carrie or Jesse or myself, now's the time to throw it in there. And Bob Kaler said they made a Sasquatch suit out of Rico's donation. Nice. A couple of suits. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back up a little bit, but I doubt if we'll see any questions there. Okay, yep, I'm not seeing any there. Let's see. Make sure I am in live chat.
Yeah, it throws me off every time. I don't know why they have a top chat. Just make it all live chat.
It makes sense if I guess if you've got 1,000 people in your chat, to weed out some of the stuff. But there's one. Geek Boy wants to know if you guys are going to Dallas as well as Orlando.
I'm gonna try. Try. Yeah, Dallas is gonna be the one that's the hardest because it falls over Halloween.
Yeah.
But his kids usually go with their mom, and Brighton last year only went to one house, so I don't know. We're gonna try.
Right. I brought you the escape artist.
This is Grizzly Bear. Grizz for short.
Squeak. Hold on, let's do this.
Polar Bear.
Oh, look at them. Look at them doggies. Oh, look at them. God.
This one's getting lighter. It's turning into a red.
That they both are gorgeous, but the white one, yeah, he does look like a little polar bear.
His ears are turning red.
And he's not albino or anything, right? No. He's just white.
Nope.
Nope. And that gene, it doesn't come with blindness or deafness.
Gotcha.
It's just kind of like having red hair. It's just a recessive trait, but you don't see it very often. Usually they're always, every once in a while you'll get a black one, but this is the typical.
That's the regular color there.
Hi.
Look at that. Oh.
I'm just a teddy bear.
Oh, look at him.
That's the other one's name's Teddy Bear. We call him Teddy.
They are so awesome.
This is why I haven't got any fish tank stuff done.
This is why the videos have been on hold, folks.
Yeah,
it's like, we're supposed to make videos on YouTube? Like what? What?
I have prior engagement.
Month and a half, 2 months?
They're 6 weeks tomorrow.
6 weeks, okay. Yep. I knew that was pretty close.
Yep. They were born on live stream day.
Ricky would like to know what your favorite movie or TV show is. Oh, which I forgot. Carrie originally was supposed to be with us on May 4th. Mm-hmm. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I had to cancel. We actually rescheduled this 3 times, I think, right?
It was a few times, but it was worth the wait.
So, is your favorite movie Star Wars? Is that your favorite, or
That's probably like my ultimate favorite? My ultimate like TV shows, Doctor Who, because my dad's name's David Tennant. So nice. I'm like, I have to be a Doctor Who. I'm a Tennant. Yeah. But Star Wars, the original Star Wars, will probably always be my favorite, just because I had to come home and watch it every day after school, and I had like the Princess Leia buns, and I was full of it. And I remember before like internet got real big, I remember going to the library and looking up George Lucas's like address, and I was like, you need to make prequels to these movies. And I think I was in like 5th grade, and I sent him a fan mail letter, and I was like, I'm more than happy to be like a young Princess Leia if you just happen to need some help. And I sent him like, this is how you should do it, like a whole pre-script. I was like, I'm serious about this prequel. So who knows? I never got no credit. I went to the library and researched to get his like on the end that like I'm sending you a fan mail.
You were stalking George Lucas.
Yeah, I was, and I mean back I couldn't just Google it then.
I like Doctor Who a lot too. I watched that one, and I think David Tennant might be my favorite out of the new ones. I don't know.
I haven't watched the newest like season, but I'll catch up. I always wait a while, then I binge watch it. No. But I got True Blood, and so we finished True Blood. I had watched it a while ago. But this is random, but I was buying the seasons like 3-4 months ago. I was like, you're going to watch Quantum Leap. Like, we're going back. And he had never watched it. I think we made it like season 3, but I was like, this show was back on it. You're like, man, this was like these effects. But I was obsessed with Quantum Leap back in the day.
Yeah, that was a good show. Did you like Sliders too with Scott Bakula? It's sort of the same.
I didn't watch it all. I didn't watch it like religiously, but I've worked at the movie theater for so long growing from like 16 to 25. I've seen it just depends on the genre, I guess.
I love Geek Boy. So we have Carrie to blame for Jar Jar.
Yeah, I know. I'll take him.
Chattanooga Ed also worked at the movie theater for a long, long time. He was.
Yeah,
he's
it's so hard to narrow down, like when you see so many of them.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt. You know who he is, right? The actor. He also worked at the movie theaters for most of his childhood.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he childhood. You know what I mean? His teenage years and stuff. He said the same thing, that it was very. It made him who he is today, just from seeing all the movies and everything. That would be cool. I never worked at a movie theater. That would have been an awesome.
Yeah, it was so fun because Thursdays, I remember I would build the movies. We would always get the new movies in, and I would build them and put them together on Thursday, and then we'd have a preview night. So we'd all go out to Mexican after I built the movie. Then we could bring like friends or family or parents, boyfriend, whoever we wanted. It was a private screening of whatever was coming out the next day.
Yeah.
So it was always fun to go to preview night. And make sure I put the movie together right.
You got to see everything before everybody else. That's awesome. I'm jealous of that part of it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was the best first job ever.
Oh, that was your very first one.
Yeah, and I stuck with it all through half of my 20s.
What other kind of stuff? What other kind of jobs have you done? You cosmetology, the movie theaters. You were a student. I consider that a job. You know. What other stuff? Those three things?
Yeah, that's about it.
What about you, Jesse? Other than the tree cutting, have you done other stuff, or is that pretty much your?
That's pretty much it. I've done everything construction. I mean,
Gotcha.
I started working when I was super young.
Yeah.
So, but tree trimming, that's pretty much been about almost my last 2 decades.
Gotcha. All right, let's see.
Yeah, it's always just hair related. Like I worked at Sally's for a little bit, but it was always hair. It's always some kind of hair related.
Well, hair related. Well, you're in the right place then. My streams are usually hair related as well.
Yes, you were. You're so
all right.
cute.
Let's see. I'm not seeing any questions. You know, it ends up like this a lot, especially with somebody like yourself that does a lot of live streams, and you're out there a lot on other people's and stuff. I think people have already know a lot about you, and you guys don't really hold back or keep you're pretty forthcoming with how you live and stuff. So
yep. I have the same, it seems like a lot of us have the same struggles with anxiety and depression, and it seems like we all kind of come together because we all kind of can relate to each other. And some days are great and other days are not so great.
Now, are you pretty introverted?
Huh?
Are you introverted yourself? Are you pretty? Yeah. And so that's funny. Just last week, we were talking with Rachel O'Leary about that, about being introverted and stuff, and how there's, different types of introversion. There's people that are introverted and don't get out there in the public at all. And then there's the people that do it but have to recharge their batteries. And you seem more like that second one, right? There's times you just got to have that break and be away from it. Yeah,
and it's still hard. I'm not very confident in finding the right words. So if I'm just chit-chatting and we're having a good time, I can go up and say hi and but if they're talking about something that is a little bit more complicated, I might follow it, but I don't have the confidence to be able to explain it very well. So then I get nervous and then I shut down and I'm like, well, I won't have anything to add and then it's just whoa. But I've gotten better since I've been doing YouTube. It's really helped. But if I'm at home, I ain't going anywhere. I will wait till I have a list of things to do to get me out the house. You're not going to get me out the house. Not. But if I have Aquashella and I have plenty of time to be okay, we're going. We're gonna go. Then I'm gonna do all I can to try to break out of my box to try to talk. It might not be eloquent, but I'm gonna try.
You always get afraid of how you're going to articulate your words.
Because I don't pronounce my words very well. I speak like Missouri Boot Hill English. Like we don't pronunciate our words, and then
I don't know. I don't. I mean, there's a little accent there, but I don't know that you.
Oh, you get me going. You get me going, and I'm just then you're like, I have no idea what you
come on,
said.
Carrie, go ahead and spell Mississippi.
No.
And especially after a few of those adult beverages, I bet it comes out even more, right?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, you gotta spell Mississippi. M, dotted letter, crooked letter, dotted letter, crooked letter, dotted letter, humpback, dotted letter.
That's funny.
Do I read comics or books? I don't read them. My son's kind of getting into comic books a little bit, but I went through a phase where I read Nicholas Sparks books like one a day. But now I'll read like biology books and stuff like that, but I don't really have like a novel in my purse anymore where I'm just like, if I'm waiting in the waiting room somewhere, I'm like, I got a book I'm going to read. I'm fine. Like I don't have that too much anymore. And usually now it's Audible or some kind of article I'm reading that I found online.
Do you like the audiobooks better than just the, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I can't do them. I read a lot. I mean, I give myself a goal of 100 books a year, and I usually get pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't do the Audible. Now, if I'm driving, that's the only time because I'm focused on driving, but I can still listen, you know.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the house doing things, I can't do it.
It's not been like it's something that I've gotten accustomed to because there for a while I can read something and I don't retain it very well. I have to read it a couple of times. So sometimes I would find it on Audible and I would still read along with the book. So I'd be like double dose of like information. You're going to get this in your brain somehow. But now over the years, like I can put something on my phone or the computer and I can do laundry or dishes or something and I can retain it a lot better than I used to.
Gotcha.
A lot better.
I just have a problem focusing on it. You know.
Yeah, because I could read and like, but I would get done with reading the page and I'd be like, I don't even know what I read. I was just looking at the words. I don't think I was reading anything.
Your mind is wandering somewhere else.
Yeah, like I'm thinking about this and then I'm thinking about that and I'm doing everything but sitting there doing what I need to be doing.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody else in chat have any questions for Carrie or Jesse or the dogs?
Mm-hmm. My favorite companion was probably Amelia Pond.
I missed that. I was looking right at it.
Rose, you can't go wrong with Rose. But Amelia Pond, the redhead.
Now, which one was Amelia? Was she was?
She's the redhead.
Was she?
I think that was her name.
Was she like?
Rory, I can't pronounce it. Was like her.
Okay.
It was Matt Smith's companion, I believe.
Gotcha. Okay. I was thinking older, way back because I used to watch when I was a kid too. You know, the Tom Baker and before.
Yeah, we rewatched them. We went back and rewatched them, but it's been too long, and I can't. I always remember the one that had the. She was with the older. They introduced her. She had the wedding dress on. She was an older companion. I can see her as clear as day, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember their names either.
I can't remember. It was, I think she came in the doctor before David Tennant and then was there a little bit. I can't remember. I can see it in my, put me on the spot and I don't know.
Yeah.
But
2:00 in the morning, you'll wake up and scream the name.
The Angels were my favorite, like bad guy. Angels. They were so
creepy as hell. I think those ones and the kids with the gas masks.
Yeah. Ooh, those were scary.
BJ Palmer said Donna Noble.
Yep, Donna. Yep.
And Bob, I don't know if you saw what Bob said. He said, Carrie, I always find you engaging and well-spoken.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Such a gentleman.
I watch all these professionals during the week, and then I just do what you guys do.
Oh, you're a professional, too. You are a professional.
I play one on YouTube.
You do a good job at it.
Well, thank you.
I always enjoy your videos and your streams, and I've learned a lot by watching your stuff, too.
Well, thank you. Hopefully, when this website gets done, you guys can learn some. I'm trying to do like little care sheets on all the things I keep, so hopefully it helps.
Gotcha.
But if anybody out there is good at proofreading, let me know.
Yeah, I am not. Even though I like to read so much, that's not something I enjoy doing. All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions, we still have 27 people in, 40 likes. I really appreciate each and every one of you coming in. Do you have anything going on now? Like you said, you don't have a lot of time with the puppies and stuff, but do you have anything coming up? Do you have any, are you going to be on any major shows coming up or anything like that?
Tomorrow, I believe I'm going to be on Kevin Leon's channel.
Okay, cool. Kevin.
In the earlier afternoon. I can't remember his time. I think it's 11 o'clock my time.
Okay.
And then Well Done Tanks is going to be the guest tomorrow on the stream tomorrow. We're
Nice.
going to have another. I'm just going to take all your guests. So whoever you have, I'm just going to come on over to Science Gal next week.
That's what we do. We share them.
Uh-huh.
Well Done's an awesome guy, and I didn't get to watch the stream with you guys, so I got to go. I watched part of it, but I was streaming the same night. I think I had Ben Ochart that week. I can't remember who I had, but I didn't catch all of it, so I need to go back. Thanks for reminding me, because I need to go back and watch that.
But other than that, I'm hoping to get my website up and going sooner than later. Hopefully sooner than later, because it's going later the way I'm working on it. And then we moved the summer tubs out finally, the little tubs that came inside to the pool room, and we filmed just attempting to move those outside without splashing them. So hopefully that video comes out here pretty soon. I'll edit that together. But other than that,
do you have the name for your website yet?
It's going to be sciencegalaquatics.com. It's just, I have like all the pictures of like my t-shirts and stuff done, but I'm trying to get these. I had this bright idea that I wanted to do like how to take care of guppies, how to take care of everything in my fish room that I have experienced. That's, little things that's worked for me over the years.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's just, I'm not good at that stuff. Like it takes me a whole day just to figure out how to put a picture on it. She
second guesses herself, folks. She's really good. The problem is she's too thorough. She's so thorough. If you read it, you will know everything you want to know about how she does it to the letter.
Gotcha.
I go a little all or nothing.
A little OCD.
Gotcha. And that's good, though. I mean, a lot of people, it's good and it's bad, but a lot of the people of your caliber are like that, full bore. That's what Rachel was saying last week. She can't do anything without just jumping in and diving in and, I'm too lazy for all of that. I'm too lazy.
Well, see, once it goes like it's like I'll have phases where I'm like, it's all I can eat, sleep, breathe. That's all. Like when I first started doing YouTube, it was daily. Like it was all I could do. And then when it wears off, or the excitement wears, or whatever it is, like I'm done. Like I won't look back or touch it again. So the YouTube thing, like there's been times where it's not that I've never wanted to quit, but I've just like, I've got so many things I'm moving on to this, but I have to be like, no, you started it, finish it. Those are good people. And I have that habit with friends sometimes. Like I'll get to know someone, and then sometime like I'll just put it in my head that I'm like, they don't need me anymore. They're good without me. Nothing I have to say is good. And I'll completely cut myself out of their lives on something I've convinced myself that they're like, no, you were fine. You didn't need to do that. And I'm like, well, I just figured, like whatever. And I'll just so YouTube's been healthy for me in multiple different ways. Like you don't have to like just cut friends out like that. Like,
well, it's super healthy for you because you obviously have a really nice secretary. Monster Fish Gal says you're on at noon tomorrow, 1 Eastern.
Oh, there you go.
How is Lori not a mod?
I don't know. She needs range.
She is right up there with all the other ones. Bob,
she's amazing.
It takes the fish tube to raise me.
She's a mod now.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, just like all the rest of them, though. Bob, John McKenzie's one of my mods. Patty, Zen Ginger. I mean, geez, I don't want to leave anybody out, but all the
They're
mods
all
really
great.
do. Yeah, they make this. They make the Fish Fam. They really do. All the work that they put in for us when they're doing it. Someone was slacking again, it seems. Geek boy, who would that be? Somebody's slacking. It's a good. It's a good. There's a high chance it's me. Slacking's my favorite thing to do these days. But hey, I'm retired. I'm allowed to do slacking.
Oh.
All right. Well, it's 7:40. I don't want to take up your entire night. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for showing the doggies too. Love those little doggies. Again, anybody in chat has anything else they'd like to ask before we let it go?
You want to say bye?
Monday, I have. I might not be going. Chattanooga Ed is. He might not be able to come up on Monday for our Geek Out stream. So I have it scheduled. We'll see what happens on Monday. And then Tuesday, I have Jess from Maine's Tails, Fins, and Furs as our guest. So
Tell her she's responsible for these cuties.
All your fault.
And I don't see any other ones. So I think, and Fishymon said, Rico Stan wanted me to be a mod, but I refused him. Yep. And that's unfortunate, Fishymon, that you refused me because you probably would have been the worst mod ever, and I could have made fun of you. So that's unfortunate. I really lost an opportunity there to make fun of you. Fishymon knows I'm joking with him. He's a good guy. All right. Anything else to add?
Just thank you. It was nice talking to you. It goes by so fast.
It does. I mean, we went over a good 20 minutes, almost 20. Yeah, good. No, 15 minutes. Whatever. I can't do time.
It's numbers. We're not here to talk about numbers.
We don't do math. We do puppies.
Look at that. Oh my God. If you guys live closer, I'd probably have a new dog.
We would give you one.
My wife said once these ones are gone, we're not having any more, but she's wrong.
She hasn't got the memo yet, the email, the
We
text.
will always have dogs. Always.
I've
We've had
always
them forever.
wanted to visit your area, Rico Stan.
It's
I
a
can
beautiful, beautiful
drive.
area. This is the time to visit. You don't want to be here in the winter, but right now is the time to visit. This is beautiful. Oh,
I'll
there's
bring-
right there. She just said no.
I'll bring a ride, buddy.
No. That's funny. Look at those, though, Michelle. Look at those dogs. Hold up that white one again, would you, Jesse? Here, look.
They're just one-way companions.
Look at that, Michelle.
Look at that.
Come on, look at this.
How can you not love me?
Oh.
They're just so friggin' cute. It's killing
They
me.
look like real life teddy bears at this stage. They really do.
All right. Hey, you guys.
Well, thank you for the
coming
chit
up.
chat.
Yeah, it was
I
a blast.
appreciate
I
it.
knew it would be. Just always. Fish Fam is so awesome, and you guys are no exception. So,
Okay.
hey, everybody, take care. We'll see you next week, and remember to go see Jesse and Carrie on Kevin's tomorrow.
Mhm.
Everybody, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Peace.